England, England, England. Euros 2021. World Cup 2018 versus Croatia. How many times are we going to see England bottle a match in the knockout rounds of a major international tournament? How many times are we going to see it? Anthony Gordon goes up, England versus Argentina. Anthony Gordon, very good goal, very good team goal. Kane with the pass, it fizzles out to Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers, really great cross. Anthony Gordon, good movement. Fullback could have done better, but it's still a great poacher's finish. But after that, capitulation. Thomas Tuchel, after England scored, this guy played haram ball. He went full haram ball. He became so pragmatic so quickly. And then with 10-15 minutes left to play, he brings on Dan Burn and Konsa. Like, Tuchel lost England the game. He did. I'll come to Messi's performance and McAllister and Argentina, but Thomas Tuchel sold England that game. And this is the problem with England. This is the problem with England at international tournaments. This is why England have not been able to get over the line since 1966. It all comes down to the mentality of the players, specifically the mentality that is transferred from the manager. The managers tactically misprofiling players, not picking certain players, being too defensive, too pragmatic. This is the problem with England. This is the problem. The game finished 2-1, but honestly speaking, in that second half, it should have been 3-4 goals for Argentina. Like Pickford made so many saves. Like, it was actually unbelievable. Like, Pickford, like, honestly, if it wasn't for Pickford making some crucial saves, it could have been worse. But even then, I'm trying to find the statistics of the game. Bear with me. But even with Pickford, Enzo Fernandez's goal, he should be saving that. Initially, you think it's a screamer from Enzo Fernandez, and it's a very good shot, but Bellingham says it's in the middle of the goal. And really and truly, it was a central strike. Pickford's positioning, he's too far to his near post, and, he's too far to his near post, and he ends up having to stretch. And by the time he's already moving to his far post, moving towards the direction the ball is in, the ball's already gone in. Pickford is not a top-level keeper. He is just not. He is not a top-level keeper. He is not a keeper that is going to elevate a team, elevate a country's level. You look at the likes of Manuel Neuer for Bayern Munich, for Germany in 2014. The likes of Buffon, the likes of Dibu Martinez in 2022. You look at the likes of going further back. You look at the likes of Taffarel. You every single team that has won an international tournament or even club football tournaments, Champions Leagues. You look at Real Madrid, Casillas. Recently, it's been Courtois. Liverpool, when we won the Champions League, we had an Alisson Becker, a goalkeeper who has a stable head, first of all, not a goalkeeper like Pickford, who, in my opinion, he does a bit too much. Even though he makes great saves, it feels like he wants to be the center of attention. He's too emotional. He's not cold and ruthless. He's not stick to his task. Sometimes not even sometimes, when you're a player playing in a high stakes game like that, you need to have an indifferent attitude. You need to have an attitude where you're composed. This is why the likes of Messi, Zidane, this is why so many legends are legends, because of the composure they have. Yes, obviously they have that competitive edge, but they have the composure. And this is why I say the mentality of the English players comes from the manager. The mentality of Tuchel, it's not a mentality of progressiveness. It's not a mentality that instills calmness and security in the players. When you go to a five at the back after scoring a goal and you're defending, the mentality of the team is obviously going to be a bit more fearful, especially because the Argentina were just putting in crosses. Messi was getting involved. Messi turning into himself. Not even his prime. He's been in his prime for 20 years. But Messi turning into himself. After that argument with Bellingham, he locked in. He found himself. McAllister hit the post. Gonzalez had chances. And the reason why the goal was coming, it was inevitable, wasn't just because England defensively was sitting way too deep, not applying any pressure on the ball holder, but it was also because of the fact that the English players, their mentality was not progressive. It wasn't front foot. It was very regressive. It was sit back, defend. It was backs against the wall, literally. And I feel like it starts from the spine of the team up until the attack. And in that game, the English attackers, like, none of them were good. I know Gordon got the goal, Rogers got the goal, but apart from that, they were poor. Only really standout players for England was Jed Spence and Anderson. Those were the two players who I can say really put in an immense performance under the circumstances. But I just feel like there's a big mentality problem with England. There is a big mentality problem with England. And I'm seeing a lot of English fans say Tuchel needs to be sacked. And me personally, I would sack him as well, because despite the fact that he got them to a semi-final, he could potentially finish third. You look at the context of that game against Argentina. Argentina, up until England scored that goal, Argentina, up until England scored their goal, were not playing well. You look at the statistics of both teams in the first half. In the first half, as you can see, both teams didn't really do anything. Both teams were cancelling each other out. Both teams weren't really doing too much. Both teams, they weren't really posing any threat. England, Argentina, had more of the ball, but they weren't really doing much with it. It was basically a chess match. It was a chess match. You even look at the momentum of both teams in the first half, and it was actually England who had more of the momentum in the first half. Obviously, Argentina had periods, obviously there were a lot of fouls in the first half as well. But overall, for England, it was the perfect game state, especially because, Argentina have the support of the fans. Argentina, they have the support, with the likes of McAllister and Enzo Fernandez. They're players who are going to want to control the midfield. But then you look at the second half and look at this. Just look at this, bro. 1.57 XG for Argentina. 3 big chances, 2 big chances missed. McAllister hit the post. By the way, McAllister, what a performance. That's the kind of performance I want to see for Liverpool. But just look at how many chances Argentina had. Just look. Just look at how many chances Argentina had in that second half after England scored. It was absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And the moment Argentina won the game and the moment England lost the game was when Dan Burn and Konsa came on and Tuchel switched to a 5 at the back. That is where England lost the game. Because when you are 1-0 up and an international tournament, in the knockout rounds, or even in the Champions League, to be honest, you have to go and kill the game. You have to be on the front foot. You have to have that mentality of, let's go and kill the game. Let me not bring on a defender and have a mindset of fear of the opposition. Have a mindset where, oh, now we have to defend. Now we have to sit back deep instead of doing our game, playing our game, which is playing front foot, playing possession, keeping the ball, transitioning quickly. Even Cesc Fabregas said this in an interview that he did. He said the reason why he wouldn't sub on a defender at 1-0 is for this same reason that I said, not instilling fear and instilling a lack of confidence in your defenders, from a sense of you're not confident that you can kill off the game because you're bringing on defenders. You're telling your whole team to defend and forget about attacking. You're limiting your best attacking players, who are usually your best players, from attacking, right? And like I said, apart from that Anthony Gordon goal, England absolutely offered nothing in that second half. Offered absolutely nothing. As you can see, Argentina, after that goal for Anthony Gordon, were absolutely sensational. Chance after chance after chance. Messi, 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 Messi. There's no more words to describe what this guy is doing. 39 years old, still running the show. If you really don't think he's the GOAT, I don't know. I don't know anymore. In fact, I do know. You can have your own opinion. But for me, this man, the greatest athlete of all time, like I've said. But the reason why Messi was able to get into the game was because of England's approach. England's approach in that second half is the epitome of why they have failed at so many international tournaments. It is the epitome of why they have underperformed at international tournaments, and it's because of their mentality. And I feel like it comes down to the fear of failure. And in football and in life in general, the fear of failure will always hold you back. The fear of failure will always hold you back. The fear of not trying, however, the fear of not giving your all, the fear of not applying yourself fully, that is the kind of mindset that needs to be instilled into the English players. That's the kind of mindset in life in general, right? Because at the end of the day, even if you fail, at least know you failed with pride. You failed, you can have your head. You can have your head held high. But the way England lost that game, the way England choked, fumbled that game, it was absolutely catastrophic. It was watching England in that second half, they were literally passengers. They were literally passengers. Literally people boarding an airplane, boarding a flight. You're taking a flight to wherever. You're just passengers. You're just in the plane. That's literally England. And then Argentina were the pilots. England were the passengers. Argentina were the pilots. That was literally the second half. That was the second half. And until England appoint a manager who has an attacking mindset, an attacking style of play, England will never, ever, ever, ever win another major trophy. Apart from the one they won in 1966. They'll never do it. Like I said in the start of the video, Italy 2021, Croatia 2018. How many times have England fumbled and choked? How many times? How many times? And it's the mentality of the manager. In 2018, cool, England didn't really have the best squad. 2022 against France, even though Harry Kane missed the penalty, France was still the better team. They had better players overall. Cool. But the Euros in 2021, even the final against Spain, Spain were probably the best team overall at the Euros. But still, the English mentality, it's an inferior mentality from a footballing perspective. And I feel like the English media doesn't help it as well, because you see with the English media, They try and create divisions. They try and create animosity amongst the players. You know, you saw when Bellingham said, you know, after the Norway game, Tuchel, maybe he doesn't know what it's like to play against Haaland. You know, the English media, BBC, Sky Sports, all these media outlets try to like twist it and make it seem like he's disrespecting Tuchel. You know, after Tuchel said the performance wasn't good enough. And I feel like that is a major reason as to why England have underperformed. That's a major reason. Because when your own media, when your own people don't have the trust in you, and when the manager is platforming you in a way that does not suit your strengths as a team, as a collective, with all the individual players underperforming or only maybe 2 players performing, which is what it's been for England the whole tournament. It's literally been Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham carry job. Anderson, he's looked good overall at the tournament, but like you look at England and I'm like, Jet Spence, he's been good. Anderson, he's been good, but it's not like the way England play, it's not progressive. It's not progressive. It's not even about a lack of fight, because the English players you saw against Mexico, they put their bodies on the line. But when it comes to actually playing attractive style of football, playing football that is progressive, playing football that is actually fluid, playing football that will actually allow you to play and win international tournaments, England are not there. And they will never be there. They will never be there unless radical change happens. They will never be there with how things are going. When it comes to knockout tournaments, international tournaments, even the Champions League, the teams that are the most cohesive teams always win the tournament. The teams, obviously, togetherness, fighting spirit, resilience, all these things, but it's mainly the team that has the most cohesion and the team that is willing to take the risks. The team that is progressive. The team that is not afraid tactically and mentally. The team that plays with composure. That is England's biggest problem. And it's a mentality that comes from the media. Even some of the English fans, they underestimate themselves too much. Sometimes I see English fans on social media underestimate themselves compared to the likes of Spain, France, Argentina, etc. And that is the biggest problem with England. And that is why England will struggle to win a major international trophy for a long, long time. Because it's not a question of England don't have quality players. They do. Harry Kane, one of, if not the best striker in the world, even though he played really, really poorly in the game against Argentina and Norway as well. Even against Congo, he wasn't really good up until the 2 goals he scored. Bellingham, one of the best midfielders in the world. You know, Reece James, one of the best right backs in the world. England have good players. Declan Rice, you know, even though he's been playing with injury, he's still a top level midfielder. It's not a question of players with England. It's really not. The mentality, the kinds of managers they have don't allow them to express their quality. That is the problem with England. And that is why they will never achieve that step, that final step. They'll never reach and conquer that final step. But overall, that's my thoughts on why England lost to Argentina, why England haven't been able to get over the line in major tournaments for so long. Obviously, you guys will have your own opinions. Let me know as well. Spain versus Argentina will be a good final. I still think Spain will win, but I really wouldn't be surprised if Argentina win. But overall, if you guys enjoyed the video, of course, like, subscribe. You know, obviously the channel's been growing. The channel's been really, really growing really well. So I appreciate that. Of course, keep supporting, guys. Keep sharing the videos. I'm seeing the comments. I'm seeing the likes. You know, like, keep on supporting the African Don Alliance. And I'll see you guys very soon.